On this episode of Mambo Shamba, we are in Kajiado County, where we visit Godrick, who's cultivated tomatoes on his 4-acre piece of land.
I got involved into it, learned about it, read about tomato farming, and we did it so well that each crate was sold as 10,000, and we did 3 acres. At the end of it, we sold and split the profit with the farmer. Thereafter, per acre increment of 3 to 4 crates to a maximum of 35 crates per acre.
Join us as we do tomato farming with Godrick.
So welcome to Mashuru, where we are having our tomato farm. My name is Godrick. I'm a farmer, amongst other things. Tomato farming from literature that's very much available is one of the good crops that we can do and earn us a decent living, especially in this area. The weather is conducive, the soil is good, and close proximity to the main market in Nairobi makes it an ideal place to venture into something that would be of interest. That is, if you have a passion for farming. So I came to farming in this area through a friend who told me there's a place in Kajiado where farming is done, and because this friend had heard that I'm passionate about farming. I have a small piece of land near where I stay, and I'd done drip irrigation. I was considering doing hydroponics. I was considering vertical farming. So when this friend shared with me the idea of Kajiado County having good land which could be leased, there is land, there is workforce, and the unique model of farming here, I got involved into it, learned about it, read about tomato farming, how it's done from nursery all through the supply chain, from the seedlings, the growth phase, to sales, up to market. And with this friend's advice, we got into a joint venture, which for the past 2 seasons we did, and become a big boy. Now I can start my own stuff. Tomato farming needs hands-on, and that was a main reason why, after over 20 years in employment, I felt I could venture into other things that would add value. And I think food is one of the areas where, if we would increase food production, we'd do great service to humanity, because a healthy nation encompasses not just disease, but also full tummy. And that's why I've ventured into tomato farming. So the farm behind me is 4 acres. I moved into 4 acres. This is, as I'd said earlier, my 3rd season. The 2 previous seasons we did 3 acres with my partner. So after I moved out to set on mine, we got this farm. Somebody else had listed for the previous 1 year, was doing another crop, but now I decided, when I told when the lease was over and he wasn't ready to renew, took it 4 acres. But I have this in front behind you now, the other 2 acres, which at the end of this season I will increase so that I'll now have 6 acres. 4 acres makes good economic sense, in that there are certain constant labor costs that, if I had 1 acre, 2 acre, 3 acre, up to 10 acres, would be constant. Because of farming being a learning process, I'd want to move from 4 to 6 and then add another 4. So my mid-term goal by the end of next year is to have at least 10 acres under cultivation, and with that I'll be able to synchronize them to harvest every month, so that I'm in market high and low season. And with that, I'll be able to even diversify, supply, venture into other things like what else can we add to the fruit to add value. So Mashuru area land is mainly leased out to farmers or prospective farmers, and the rate per acre is between 10,000 upwards, 20, 30,000 per acre, depending on water availability, accessibility to the roads, and those two are the main factors that influence the rate at which you'd get land. And also another factor that's considered is what chunk of land you'd want, because you know the locals would also want always, and I agree with them, want to leave some land for their livestock, because if you don't consider that, you will be having constant fights with their animals crossing into your farm. So like the gentleman who leased to me this land, we agreed and we fenced, cost shared the fencing outer perimeter barbed wire. He said I contribute half, he'll contribute the other half, such that his animals do not cross over to the farm. So once we got the land, the land had been cleared because it had been farmed, so it was a matter of looking for a tractor again to till the land. And as those who farm know, after it has been tilled, it is left to rest. So we left the land to rest after tilling, and meanwhile started looking for the seedlings. There are two ways of going through the seedlings. Either we have a nursery or we get the seedlings from propagators. I decided to go through a propagator. We have several recognized propagators in the country, and I went with Plantech, who are based in Naivasha. Can go through their profile, very professional guys, and you order 1,000 seedlings, they'll give you 1,000. You order 10,000, they'll give you 10,000. You order 50,000, whatever quantity you want, they'll deliver. And the beauty about getting seedlings from certified propagators is that you'll get what you want. You'll get what you ordered for. You'll get, if it's F1, you'll get F1. You'll not get a mix of this and that. For our farm, we decided to go for Big Rock brand from Hygiene, who are the manufacturers of the seeds. And the area, generally this area, most farmers are going for Big Rock. Why Big Rock? Because it's relatively early maturing, very resistant to most of the diseases, and the fruit itself looks beautiful. The farmer, the buyers will say, I want Big Rock. If they look at it, it is glittering, it's welcoming. Maybe one time when you go to the market, have a look at the tomatoes. Have a feel. When you touch them, how do they feel? When you look at them, how do they look? Are they shiny? Are they non-soggy? At home when they are cutting, do you get a different feel when you cut one tomato from the other? That would give you the different qualities of tomatoes that we have. We have two varieties of tomato plant, broadly. Those that are for greenhouse and open field. So here being open field, we go for a variety that grows mainly bushy. You don't need to remove suckers. The more, the better. Unlike in the greenhouse where the plants go tall as possible, that is the indeterminate variety, while this is the determinate variety, or some semi-determinate, which is now the common thing in open field, which you can either put stakes or not put stakes, and those stakes come at a cost. The staking process, it is costly venture, but for those who can afford or those who want to stake, literature is divided. Those who feel if you stake, you increase production by at least a month, but there are those who feel that even if you staked, it will maybe take you for a week or two. So opinion is still divided out there, and conclusive evidence is not yet out with regard to which staking or non-staking. But the big rock is semi-determinate, so either can work. You can either stake or not stake. For me, I'll not be putting the stakes. We have 24,000 plants in the farm. So if we were to stake, say the cost of each stake, or say the cost of one stake is 50 shillings by 24,000, that is some good money. So maybe when, for me, I think if one needs to stake, we shift from open field to greenhouse, because it makes all the sense. We are going vertical, we make the plants grow as high as possible, but here land is not an issue per se. So we are able to maintain 24,000 seedlings in 4 acres. That's about 6,000 seedlings per acre. So once we've ordered our seeds, and we did here from Plantech, we started tilling the land. And again, there are tractors available that are for hire, charging between 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 per acre. And once they till, we start now partitioning the farm in readiness for the seedlings to come. So we have a 1 month grace period from fencing the place, building the jarubas, which are the furrow, because here we use furrow irrigation, looking for the pipes to supply water, looking for generator, confirming whether our water source is reliable, because here at the farm we have 2 sources. At the center of the farm, behind me, we have a well, and then to my left we have a river that is flowing. But although you know, the terrain here is such that the flash floods will come within 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, then there's no water, so we just excavate and we have water from the underground wells. So after I had placed the order for the 24,000 seedlings, kept being in touch with the propagators, and the day before arrival they called and just to confirm, is the farm ready? Have we confirmed water? Have we prepared the farm? And we were ready to go, because at the time they were coming, we were doing the last block, which is the upper right part of the farm, but the rest of the lower part, the jarubas had been done, the partitioning had been done, the delivery of the pipes had been done, the pump was on site, the water source was assured. So when they came the next day, they gave me a call that they are a few kilometers to arrive, alerted the farmer on the ground who received them when they arrived. So on arrival the next day, we have to, after setting them on a shaded place, within 2 days we needed to continue supplying water, nutrition that they'll be getting so that they all don't wilt. And within less than a week, we were ready to start planting, removing them from the grower boxes into the soil. Planting mainly occurs at night because this place is relatively hot, so we prefer planting at night. But from the day of starting, we planted this for 3 days, non-stop, and mainly at night. And we water and plant until the whole farm is done. And the day before planting, we had to spray the seedlings with stress, something for stress, something for any insect that may have come in, and an antifungal and a sticker. Then we watered, and as we water, we transplant. Then after 1 week, we apply top dressing DAP. Then we cover. Quantity is a handful, you know, on the side of each plant. Then once applied, apply on all per jaruba, we apply on each, then cover, then water follows. Apply on each, so a section like this is applied, then cover, and then water follows. So this ensures that the DAP does not cause burning of the leaves or the stem of the plants, and water is applied every week. Disease control, that is the fungicides and herbicides, applied every week. Water applied every week. So these three things happen every week as the plant grows, and the farmer on the ground needs to make sure the first thing in the morning and last thing in the evening before going to bed, he looks at the crop, walks around the farm and see if there is any concern, and if there is, we deal with it as soon as possible, be it water requirement, be it disease management, be it nutrition. Those three things every morning. First thing in the morning when he wakes up is to walk around the farm. The evening again has to walk around the farm, because this baby tomato seedling, tomato plant needs great attention. Our crop now is 1 month old, and during this period from the date of transplanting, the aim is to have the vegetation increasing and also root development, especially from the second month. We want the roots to develop, we want to have more suckers. Then before probably the course of this upcoming week, we'd want to what we call kuvukisha, to add soil to the plants so that root development is increased, and continue with the weekly spraying for nutrition and disease prevention. So another aspect that we need to monitor are the weeds. Again, weeding, this has been weeded twice. So this week, as soil is returned to the leaves, that is the kuvukisha, we'll also be weeding at the same time to ensure that, because when we have so many weeds, they also compete for food with the crop. So I decided we don't use herbicide, we just weed, because as much as they are selective herbicides, my experience is that they slow also the development of the main crop. So if we can avoid that aspect of slowing down the main crop, I think it's for the good of the crop. So that's why I prefer not to use herbicides on the crop when it is already on the farm. In my other experiences, my demo farm, what I do is before transplanting, I spray a non-selective herbicide on the whole farm. And I've seen it helps in the number and the amount of weeds that we have on the farm once the main crop is on site. This area, we have very minimal rain, but what we've noticed, wherever it rains, we have an increased challenge of weed control, because when we do the weeding, we remove the weeds from the jaruba and put them at the edges. When it rains, therefore these weeds are able to sprout at a faster rate than if we were just watering the jaruba and the raised parts do not get water to ensure they sprout. So that is the main challenge when it rains. But here, like since we started the project, this is the second time, last night was the second rains that we've had here. The normal farming model that people have is where you have employees who are on a regular salary at the end of either weekly, bi-weekly or monthly, or the M farming where you send money. So for our farm, or this area generally, what we do is a 50-50 partnership, where I, as the person with interest in farming, engage a lead farmer, and this lead farmer will engage his assistants, whom will be helping him in preparing the farm, day-to-day running of the farm. The arrangement is such that I provide for their food for the whole duration of farming. Buy the insecticides, buy the fungicides, the nutrition, everything to do with the farm, including petrol to pump water to irrigate the farm. And then at the end of it, when we start harvesting, the cost of production is brought back to me, then the net profit we share with the farmer. Now, when the crop is ready for harvesting, usually what happens, we have brokers around who walk around farms looking for tomatoes. When they see the crop is ready, they come, we negotiate, and they come and pick. And when they come together with their graders, and then I look for people to harvest. Usually the local community ladies are the ones who do the picking, and then the buyer comes with the people to do the grading and packing in the crates. They come in trucks which they load, and once they've paid, they head to market. The beauty about tomato farming again is that no denis. Kuna madeni. They come to the farm, pick, pay, and leave. And I, together with my farmers, we keep our own records, because once we are through with the farming, we sit down and get to calculate what have been the sales, what have been our expenses, and to arrive at a profit that we split into two. So in our model, we have some bonusing that happens usually in corporate world. Bonusing starts at the end of everything. But this bonus, we do it at the first harvest, whereby the first harvest, when we do the sales, we remove the expenses, that is the harvesting cost, and then that profit that we get is split into two. The farmers have theirs, and I also have mine. This works very well because it will push the farmers that they know if the first harvest is big, they get to earn more. And I've seen so far it works very well for our case. So last season, what we did, the first harvest per acre was 5 crates, and we did it so well that each crate was sold as 10,000, and we did 3 acres. At the end of it, we sold and split the profit with the farmer. Thereafter, per acre increment of 3 to 4 crates to a maximum of 35 crates per acre. Then that is the second month, then it starts going down up to a point now the last sales are usually through a pro box, which comes and they take at 10 to 15,000 per pro box. For this season, because I'm having a hands-on, so I expect to improve. There are things that, like last season, we only did 1 fertilizer application. This time I'd want to increase, give the crop what is required. So I'm expecting to have the first harvest, at least per acre, I'd want to have at least 7 to 8 crates per acre for the first crop. And I'd expect the highest per acre to be from 35, looking at 40, 50 crates per acre. Yeah. Cost of production, again, it ranges from 100,000 to 300,000 per acre. It's that wide, depending on the main cost drivers are the farm management, crop, that is the pesticides and fungicides, which are the main cost drivers. While the cost of feeding this gentleman, because I have 1 main lead farmer and 2 assistants, plus 1 person who assist them in supplying water. So in total, I have 4 people on the farm. These 4 people can manage 1 acre. These 4 people can manage 2 acres up to a maximum of 10 comfortably. So when we talk of the relatively larger the big farm, the better. It works out quite well, because if you are able to do say like per acre 140 crates per acre, if you could do the math, because the average cost per crate ranges from, like last season, the lowest was 1,200, the highest was 10,000, so about 5,000 on average, and then you do 150 crates, and the cost of production is between 100,000 to 300,000. Can do the math and see how much you will be able to make.